The announcement from the Galactic Council spread across the galaxy like wildfire, hitting the various member worlds with the force of a seismic shock. For centuries, the Council had maintained a delicate balance between the numerous alien races, a balance built on a fragile foundation of peace treaties, trade agreements, and shared interests. But now, with the introduction of the new law, ***, no warships allowed in the neutral zones, ***, everything was changing. Earth, newly inducted into the intergalactic fold, was left with a bitter taste in its mouth. The law was designed to prevent any one race from exerting too much military power in areas meant for diplomacy, but the implications were clear. Humanity's military might, symbolized by the ***, US-defiant ***, would be rendered obsolete in these crucial regions, and Earth couldn't afford to look weak. Admiral Catherine Cat Larkin paced the length of her office, eyes narrowed, her mind working through the consequences of the law. She knew Earth was still establishing itself as a power in the galaxy. It had only been a few decades since humanity had even started venturing beyond its solar system. Yet, the ***defiant ***, a massive warship equipped with technology that even the most advanced alien races struggled to match, was humanity's trump card, a symbol of their potential. The US-defiant ***, was more than just a ship, it was a statement. The ship had been built to defend Earth from any external threat. Its firepower could level an entire fleet, and its technological advancements were unparalleled. It had been humanity's pride. Until now. Larkin sat down at her desk, staring at the holographic map of the neutral zone. The vast expanse of unclaimed space stretched out before her, dotted with the occasional station or way station, but all of it had been rendered off-limits to warships under the new law. These were places of trade, diplomacy, and delicate negotiations, but to Larkin, they were just another reminder of how Earth was being pushed into a corner. A soft chime broke her thoughts as a virtual message appeared on her screen. It was from *** Commander Jordan Hayes ***, the captain of the ***, defiant ***. He had requested an immediate meeting. Larkin's stomach churned. She already knew what it would be about. Hayes had been on the front lines of the diplomatic mission to the neutral zone. The mission had ended in disaster. Human diplomats had been ambushed by a hostile alien race. The UEG, unarmed and unable to defend itself, could only watch as the attackers tore through their shuttle. The message was simple, and it cut through the facade of political correctness. "We can't keep playing by their rules, Admiral." Larkin didn't need more than that to understand the gravity of the situation. Humanity was vulnerable. Earth's pride and future hung on the ability to protect itself, and without the US-defiant *** in the neutral zones, they would be nothing more than pawns in a game they couldn't control. Larkin clenched her fists. The law had been made with good intentions, but it was clear it didn't account for one crucial factor. ***, humanity's unwillingness to be weak ***. As she stared at the screen, a thought crystallized in her mind. ***, the law says no warships. We say otherwise ***. The decision was clear. The time had come for humanity to make a stand. She picked up her comlink, her voice steady but laced with determination. "Commander Hayes, prepare the ***, US-defiant ***. We're not backing down. Meet me in the war room in an hour. We're about to make history." The die had been cast. Earth was no longer going to cower in the shadows of galactic law. It was time to show the galaxy just what humanity was capable of. The news of the ***, US-defiance ***, impending deployment spread quickly across Earth, and the reaction was immediate. The streets were flooded with debates, protests, and impassioned discussions. The media, ever eager for a headline, painted the situation in stark terms. ***, will Earth stand strong, or will we cower in fear? ***. For those who felt helpless after the disastrous attack on the diplomats, the decision to defy the Galactic Council's law was a beacon of hope. They saw it as humanity's chance to show the galaxy they would not be pushed around, that they were a species that had fought for its survival on Earth, and would do the same in the stars. But there were many who feared the consequences. To some, the law was the only thing keeping the peace in the galaxy. They feared that breaking it would ignite a chain reaction, drawing the wrath of more powerful alien species. Wars, they feared, would follow. The stakes were monumental, and the weight of those fears rested heavily on the shoulders of the United Earth Government, UEG. In the UEG's offices, discussions were heated. The council was split. Some members urged caution, wanting to appease the Galactic Council and avoid war. But the majority, sensing the political ramifications of backpedaling, couldn't ignore the fact that Earth was no longer a vulnerable, isolated planet. It was a rising power with a military capable of defending its interests. The most vocal advocate for action was Admiral Catherine Larkin ***. She was an emblem of human resolve, and her voice carried the weight of not just the military, but also the growing restlessness of the people. Standing before a gathering of UEG officials and military leaders, Larkin's words were resolute. "If we back down now," she began, her voice unwavering, "if we allow this law to dictate our survival, we're telling every species in this galaxy that humanity can be bullied, that we are no different from those who fall under the boot of stronger powers. And I won't let that happen." The room fell silent. For a moment, all eyes were on Larkin, waiting for someone to speak, to object. But no one did. Admiral Larkin continued, the tension thick in the air. The US Defiant isn't just a warship. It's a symbol of what humanity stands for: strength, resilience, and the determination to fight for what we believe in. We cannot allow ourselves to be weak. We must show the galaxy that we will not cower in the face of threats. Her words were sharp, calculated. She didn't mince her message. Humanity was ready to stake its claim in the galactic order. Commander Jordan Hayes captain of the US Defiant stood by her side, his stance firm. He too was feeling the pressure, though his face betrayed little emotion. He knew the risks all too well. The mission wasn't just about defending Earth. It was about proving humanity's place in the galaxy. "We have the means to defend ourselves," Hayes added. "And it's time we remind the galaxy that Earth isn't a punching bag. We won't wait for permission to protect ourselves." Larkin's eyes scanned the room. The message was clear. Humanity would not be silenced As the meeting drew to a close, the decision was made. The US Defiant would embark on its mission into the neutral zone. The orders were given, and preparations began immediately. The military would back Larkin's resolve, despite the political turmoil brewing back on Earth. It was a risk, but one that was deemed necessary for the survival and honor of humanity. As the room emptied, Larkin remained behind, staring at the holographic map of the neutral zone once again. Her fingers traced the lines of the designated no-go areas. The path ahead would not be easy. There would be consequences, but she was ready. The galaxy had long thought of humans as a species struggling to find its place among the stars. It was time to change that perception. Larkin's resolve hardened. If the galaxy thought it could keep humanity in check with laws designed to weaken them, it was about to get a rude awakening. She was ready to take Earth to the brink if it meant securing their future. She glanced at the map once more, her voice barely a whisper. "This is only the beginning." And with that, the plan to defy the law and make their stand began. The days leading up to the US Defiance departure were filled with tension and urgency. The crew worked tirelessly to prepare for a mission that no one could afford to fail. The hum of activity aboard the warship echoed through its cavernous corridors, a testament to the mounting pressure. But there was an undeniable undercurrent of excitement, too. This wasn't just another mission. It was a statement. Humanity was taking its first real step into the larger galactic stage, and no one would stop them. Admiral Catherine Larkin paced the command deck, her eyes scanning the operations reports that flashed across her console. Her mind was always a few steps ahead, calculating contingencies, predicting responses from the alien factions, and preparing her crew for what they would face. As captain of the U.S. Defiant she knew her decisions would have consequences that rippled far beyond Earth. The political ramifications of this mission were enormous. The Galactic Council the governing body of dozens of species, had already issued a stern warning. Earth must comply with the new law, or face isolation and severe sanctions. A refusal to back down would not only endanger Earth but could plunge the galaxy into chaos. And yet, Larkin's gut told her that if they backed down now, humanity's reputation would be irreparably damaged. She wasn't about to let that happen. As she reviewed the operational plans with Commander Jordan Hayes the two exchanged a silent understanding. Hayes had been at the forefront of Earth's military efforts for years, and his leadership had earned him the respect of his crew and superiors alike. But even he was uneasy about what they were about to do. He had seen the power of the alien races firsthand, and knew they could easily overwhelm humanity if it came to war. But he trusted Larkin, and his loyalty to her was unwavering. "We'll need a clean break from the diplomatic channels once we enter the neutral zone," Hayes said, his voice low but firm. "No messages, no negotiations. We need to make a statement." Larkin nodded. "Exactly. Our presence in that zone will show the galaxy that humanity will not be shackled by anyone's rules. It's either they recognize us as equals, or we'll make them." She turned her gaze to the vast expanse of space visible through the ship's observation window. The stars beyond seemed endless, a cold reminder of the vastness of the universe and the dangers lurking in its darkness. For humanity, the stakes could not have been higher. This wasn't just a mission to assert military power. It was a mission to define their place in the galaxy, to show they weren't just another species waiting to be bullied. A soft chime interrupted the silence, signaling a message from the UEG's Central Command. The message was clear, and for a moment, the weight of it hung in the air like an oppressive fog. The Galactic Council's latest ultimatum had arrived. Earth's defiance would not be tolerated. There would be consequences, diplomatic and military. But as Larkin read the message, her resolve hardened. "Let them come," she muttered under her breath. "They'll see that humanity can handle whatever they throw at us." The message was nothing new, but it solidified the decision in her mind. The U.S. Defiant would go forward with its mission. The mission parameters were set, the crew was ready, and the ship had been prepped for combat. Earth was no longer playing by anyone else's rules. That night, in the war room aboard the U.S. Defiant Admiral Larkin addressed the crew one last time before departure. The room was filled with nervous energy. Officers, technicians, and soldiers, all of them aware that this mission could lead to a galactic confrontation. Larkin stood before them, her presence commanding, unwavering. "You've all been chosen for this mission because I believe in your ability to face the impossible," Larkin said, her voice cutting through the tension. "We are not just going to the neutral zone to prove a point. We are going to show the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. They will either respect us, or they will fear us." A murmur of approval rippled through the room. The crew was ready. Humanity was ready. With one final glance around the room, Larkin nodded. "Prepare yourselves. We leave in 20 minutes. Let's make history." As the crew filed out, the U.S. Defiant powered up, its massive engines humbling those who dared to look upon it. The mission was set in motion. The galaxy would soon learn that humanity was not a species to be ignored. The stars outside seemed to burn a little brighter now. The future of Earth was no longer uncertain. It had been decided. And with that, the U.S. Defiant began its journey into the unknown. As the U.S. Defiant hurtled through the vast emptiness of space, the hum of its engines reverberated through the metal hull, a reminder of the immense power that lay just beneath the surface. Inside the ship, the atmosphere was a mixture of anticipation and resolve. The crew moved with precision, their every action aligned with the mission at hand. It was as if they all understood that this wasn't just another assignment, it was a turning point for humanity. Admiral Catherine Larkin stood at the command center, her eyes focused on the shifting star patterns outside the observation windows. The neutral zone was ahead. They were almost there, but despite the careful preparation, she couldn't shake the sense of unease that gnawed at the back of her mind. The stakes were enormous. If they faltered now, if even one thing went wrong, the consequences could be catastrophic. Commander Jordan Hayes standing by her side, sensed her unease. "You've been quiet, Admiral," he said, his voice laced with concern. "You thinking about the possible fallout?" Larkin turned to him, her expression unreadable. "I'm thinking about what happens if we fail. If we make it through this, we'll have a chance to change everything. But if we fail..." She trailed off, not needing to finish the sentence. Failure wasn't an option. A soft beep interrupted their conversation as the ship's communications officer, Lieutenant Area Vanek spoke up from her station. "Admiral, we're entering the outer rim of the neutral zone. All systems are green for entry." Larkin nodded, her fingers instinctively brushing against the control console. "Prepare for silent mode. No transmissions. No alerts." The crew had anticipated this moment for days. The neutral zone was a political minefield, where even the smallest provocation could lead to disaster. By entering it without permission, they were essentially declaring war on the established order of the galaxy, and yet this was the only way forward. Humanity's survival depended on asserting its presence in a universe that had long viewed them as insignificant. The U.S. Defiant slipped past the final layer of neutral zone defenses. The ship's massive frame loomed large against the backdrop of distant stars, and for a moment, the vastness of space felt all-consuming. But there was no turning back now. As they entered the heart of the neutral zone, the crew's collective focus sharpened. Every action, every decision now had the potential to change the future of their species. Meanwhile, in the command room, Larkin studied the star map on her console. She knew that within moments, the Claran Empire or the Sara or any of the dozens of other factions that dominated the neutral zone could take notice. These races, with their long histories and advanced technology, could easily overwhelm humanity. But Larkin believed in her crew and in the might of the U.S. Defiant ***. They had trained for this. They had no choice but to succeed. "Admiral, we've detected multiple alien vessels on approach," Lieutenant Vanek reported, her voice steady but tinged with tension. "The Clarans are near. They're blocking our path." Larkin's jaw clenched. The Claran Empire was one of the most ancient and powerful factions in the galaxy, and they had little love for the human race. Their technology was formidable, and they had little patience for newcomers who refused to follow the rules. "Open a channel, Lieutenant," Larkin ordered, her tone calm but resolute. "Let's make our position clear." The comm officer quickly established a link with the Claran flagship. The screen flickered to life, and an imposing Claran admiral appeared. His dark eyes bore into the camera with a mix of curiosity and disdain. "You dare enter this space, human?" The Claran admiral's voice rumbled, each word heavy with authority. Larkin didn't flinch. We do more than dare. We're asserting our right to exist in this galaxy without fear. We're not here to provoke, just to make sure the law doesn't keep us weak. The Claran Admiral sneered, his sharp, reptilian features twisted in a snarl. You will regret this decision, human. The Galactic Council does not tolerate defiance. And yet, Larkin replied, the law they impose is wrong, and humanity will not be bullied into submission. The Claran Admiral's expression darkened. You've been warned. Leave this space now, or we will respond with force. Larkin didn't hesitate. We stay. And if you attempt to stop us, we will defend ourselves. The transmission ended abruptly, the screen flickering back to a map of the neutral zone. Larkin stood tall, her gaze fixed on the surrounding space. She knew the Clarans wouldn't back down easily. This was only the beginning. Commander Hayes, prepare the crew. They'll be here soon. If they make a move, we fight back. Hayes met her gaze, his expression resolute. Understood, Admiral. As the tension aboard the U.S. Defiant mounted, Larkin felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The mission was no longer just about entering the neutral zone. It was about humanity's survival, and the galaxy would soon learn that the human race would not go quietly into the dark. The tension aboard the U.S. Defiant had reached a boiling point. The Claran fleet was closing in, their massive warships cutting through the darkness like predatory beasts. The situation was quickly escalating from a diplomatic standoff to an imminent confrontation. Every crew member felt the weight of the moment, their eyes locked on their stations, knowing that any misstep could lead to disaster. Admiral Catherine Larkin stood at the command console, her posture unwavering, eyes fixed on the approaching Claran fleet. Despite the storm of thoughts racing through her mind, she remained calm. This was the moment she had prepared for. This was humanity's chance to show the galaxy that they weren't going to play by anyone's rules but their own. Admiral, the Clarans are powering up their weapons, reported Lieutenant Vanek, her voice laced with tension but still controlled. They're locking onto us. It looks like they're preparing for a full-scale attack. Larkin's eyes hardened. The Clarans weren't bluffing. The long-standing hostility between their species and humanity had been well documented, and their distaste for any perceived challenge to their authority was legendary. But humanity wasn't going to back down. Raise shields. Ready all weapons, Larkin commanded, her voice calm yet steely. We're not going to let them intimidate us. The U.S. Defiant thrummed with activity as the crew scrambled to execute the orders. Tactical officers adjusted power settings, ensuring the ship's systems were fully charged and ready for combat. Engineering worked tirelessly, ensuring the ship's massive weapon systems were fully operational. The ship had been designed for moments like this, when diplomacy failed and the stakes were too high to back down. Commander Jordan Hayes stepped up beside Larkin, his expression grim but determined. Admiral, we're facing at least 3 Claran battle cruisers, and their firepower is twice what we're packing. But we've got an advantage in speed and maneuverability. If we stay agile, we can outmaneuver them. Larkin nodded. The U.S. Defiant was not as large or as heavily armed as the Claran fleet, but it had one distinct advantage: human ingenuity. The ship was designed to fight smarter, not harder, using its advanced technology and tactical flexibility to overcome superior firepower. Keep the ship moving. Stay unpredictable, Larkin ordered. We'll give them a fight they won't forget. The Claran fleet was almost upon them now. The massive ships were hulking behemoths of dark metal, their weapons poised and ready to unleash destruction. The first shot rang out, bright, blinding, and full of deadly intent. Shields at 80% and holding, reported the tactical officer. Lieutenant Thorne, his voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around him. They fired a warning shot. They want us to back off. Larkin's eyes narrowed. This wasn't just a warning. It was a test. The Clarans wanted to see if humanity would retreat, if they would bow to the overwhelming power of their fleet. But Larkin knew better. Retreating now would signal weakness, and that was something humanity couldn't afford. Return fire. Aim for their engines. Disable their pursuit capabilities, she commanded. The U.S. Defiance weapons systems came to life with a powerful hum as energy blasts fired back at the Claren battle cruisers. The impact sent ripples through space, lighting up the dark void like flashes of lightning. The Claren ships rocked under the assault, but they were far from crippled. The first round of fire only served to escalate the conflict. The Claren admiral's voice suddenly boomed through the comm system, seething with rage. "You dare resist. You will pay the price for this insolence. Prepare to be crushed." Larkin's voice cut through the threat with unshakable resolve. "We're not here to be crushed. We're here to show you what humanity is capable of. You'll have to do more than threaten to stop us." Her words resonated with the crew, who knew they were standing at the precipice of something far bigger than any individual mission. This was about humanity's place in the galaxy, about earning respect and ensuring their future. The time for negotiations was over. The first Claren battle cruiser launched another barrage of fire. The U.S. Defiant maneuvered swiftly, narrowly avoiding the deadly blasts. But the Clarens weren't done. The other two ships had joined the fray, and their weapons were now fully unleashed. The U.S. Defiant shuddered under the intensity of the hits, shields flickering dangerously. "Shields at 50%, Admiral," Thorne reported, his voice strained. "We're taking heavy fire. If this keeps up, we won't last long." "Hang in there," Larkin said, her voice resolute. "We need to buy time for the backup fleet." "Backup fleet, Admiral?" Hayes asked, raising an eyebrow in confusion. Larkin didn't have time to explain the entire plan. Earth's response to this incursion was already in motion, and reinforcements were on their way. But the U.S. Defiant couldn't wait for them to arrive. They had to hold their ground, to show the Clarens that humanity was not to be underestimated. "Commander, increase evasive maneuvers," Larkin ordered, her eyes locked on the chaotic space battlefield. "We've got one chance to show them we're not backing down." The battle raged on, and in the silence of space, the future of humanity hung in the balance. The U.S. Defiant danced through the chaos of the battlefield, its engines roaring as it narrowly evaded another barrage from the Claren fleet. The immense warships around them were relentless, firing shot after shot with precision, but the human vessel was faster, more nimble. The gap in firepower was vast, but the Defiant's agility and advanced maneuvering systems kept it alive. It was a game of cat and mouse, with the Clarens desperate to land a killing blow, and humanity determined to survive long enough to tip the scales. Admiral Catherine Larkin stood firm at the command console, her fingers dancing across the controls, issuing orders with a calmness that betrayed the urgency of the situation. Every second counted. Each decision, each tactical move, could be the difference between life and death for her crew. And the future of Earth itself. "Shields holding at 40%, reported Lieutenant Thorne, his voice tense but controlled. "We're holding, but barely. Another hit like that, and we're going to lose our edge." Larkin's mind raced, calculating their next move. The Claren fleet was relentless, but she had a plan. A risky one, but one she knew could change the outcome of this battle. "Initiate decoy program," she ordered. "Decoy program. Admiral, are you sure?" Hayes interjected, his eyes widening as he processed her command. The decoy program was a last-ditch measure designed to confuse and misdirect enemy forces using false signals. It could give them a temporary edge, but it would also leave the ship exposed in a way that made many of the crew uneasy. Larkin turned to face him, her expression unwavering. "It's the only way. We're outgunned and outnumbered. We can't keep dodging forever. If we don't do something drastic, we'll be swarmed." Without waiting for further discussion, Lieutenant Vanek activated the decoy program, flooding the battlefield with false signals, confusing the Claren ships. The U.S. Defiant sent out multiple holographic projections of its own image, scattering them across the void. The decoys were made to mimic the Defiant's energy signature, giving the illusion of a fleet rather than a single vessel. For a moment, the Claren fleet faltered, their targeting systems thrown off by the sudden influx of false signals. One of the Claren battle cruisers fired at a decoy, its shot missing the Defiant by a wide margin. But the other two ships adjusted quickly, recalibrating their targeting systems. "We've bought ourselves a few seconds," Hayes said, a hint of hope in his voice. "But we need to capitalize on this." Larkin nodded, her mind already several steps ahead. "Deploy all available drones. Prepare for a full-on counteroffensive. We need to make them regret underestimating us." Her voice was sharp, filled with purpose. The U.S. Defiant wasn't going to just survive this fight. It was going to turn the tide. The drones, specially designed for combat, launched from the ship's bays with lightning speed, zipping through space like swarming wasps. They were small, heavily armed, and quick, ideal for striking at the heart of the Claren fleet's firepower. As the drones swarmed toward the Claren ships, a series of explosions rocked the enemy fleet, their precision strikes causing damage to the Claren's external weapons systems. For the first time in the battle, the Clarens seemed to hesitate, their ships buckling under the unexpected assault. "Direct hit on their weapons array," reported Thorne, his eyes widening. "Their primary weapons are offline." Larkin's heart skipped a beat. This was the opening they had been waiting for, but it wasn't over yet. The Clarens weren't going to give up that easily. "Commander Hayes," Larkin said, her voice colder now, "it's time for us to finish this." Hayes didn't hesitate. "Aye, Admiral. All hands, prepare for final assault." The U.S. Defiant surged forward with newfound momentum, using its remaining firepower to target the crippled Claren battle cruisers. The drones continued their assault, distracting the enemy ships while the Defiant moved in for the kill. The Clarens fired back in a desperate attempt to regain control, but their weapons were slow, ineffective against the agile human ship. One by one, the Claren ships took heavy damage, their shields buckling under the sustained barrage from the Defiant. "We've got them," Hayes said, grinning as the Claren flagship shuddered, its engines failing. "The Claren flagship is disabled. They can't keep up with us anymore." Larkin allowed herself a brief moment of relief. This battle, this pivotal moment for humanity, was swinging in their favor, but she didn't celebrate just yet. The Claren fleet was still dangerous, and the rest of the galaxy would be watching. The comm system crackled to life, and a voice from the Claren flagship came through, this time filled with fury. "You may have won this battle, human, but the war is far from over. The Galactic Council will make you pay for this insubordination." Larkin's voice was resolute, calm in the face of the Claren threat. "Then let the Council come. We will be waiting." She looked around at her crew, all of them standing tall in the face of adversity. Their resolve had carried them through the most intense battle humanity had ever faced in the galaxy. "Prepare for the next phase," she ordered. "We've just shown the galaxy that humanity will no longer bow to anyone. Let's make sure they never forget it." The U.S. Defiant hovered triumphantly in the dark expanse of space, its crew ready for whatever came next. This was only the beginning. The dust of battle settled slowly in the cold void of space. The once mighty Claren fleet, once so sure of its superiority, now limped away in retreat, their ships heavily damaged and crippled by the ferocity of the U.S. Defiant and its crew. The flagship of the Claren Empire was disabled, its power core flickering erratically, and the remaining cruisers had no choice but to fall back, their weapons silent. The U.S. Defiant, though battered, stood tall in the aftermath. The ship's hull was scared, its shields barely holding, but it was still functional. Humanity had just delivered a blow that would echo across the galaxy. They had proven that they could not only survive in the face of overwhelming odds but fight back and win. "Admiral, the Claren fleet is retreating," reported Lieutenant Thorne, his voice filled with disbelief. "They've pulled back into deep space. Their comm channels are quiet." Larkin felt a rush of relief, though it was tempered by the awareness that the battle, though decisive, was far from over. She turned to Commander Hayes, who was still at her side, his face a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. "They'll regroup," Hayes said, his voice low but assured. "The Clarens don't take defeat lightly. They'll report back to the Galactic Council, and will be marked as an enemy." Larkin nodded solemnly. "I know. But it doesn't matter. We've proven that humanity will not be pushed around. The Council can threaten us all they want. We've shown them we're not a species to be ignored." A long silence fell over the command deck as the crew took in the enormity of their victory. Despite the damage to the ship and the exhausted faces of the officers, there was a sense of unspoken pride. They had done something no one expected. Humanity had struck back against one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy and survived. "Admiral," Vanek said, her voice breaking the silence, "we've received a transmission from Earth. High Command wants to speak with you." Larkin's heart skipped a beat. She had expected this call, but she wasn't sure how it would play out. Earth had just watched the entire battle unfold, thanks to the surveillance satellites that had been monitoring the conflict. Now the moment of reckoning had come. "Put it through, Lieutenant," Larkin said, steadying herself for the conversation. The screen flickered to life, and the familiar face of General Richard Kane, the UEG's highest-ranking military officer, appeared. His expression was grim, but there was a hint of respect in his eyes. "Admiral Larkin," he began, his voice measured but tinged with admiration, "you've done the impossible. The U.S. Defiant has proven humanity's place in this galaxy. You've sent a message that will be felt across the stars." Larkin stood straighter. She had expected reprimands, a lecture on the dangers of provoking the Clarens, but instead she was met with words of approval. "Thank you, General. But this is just the beginning. The Clarens won't forget this, and neither will the Galactic Council." Kane nodded, his gaze firm. "Indeed, the situation is already escalating. We've had word from several other galactic factions. Some are applauding your actions, but many are wary. The Xara, the Turvol, and others are watching closely. The Council will likely convene soon to address the human problem." Larkin clenched her fists, but she kept her composure. "They'll have to deal with it. Humanity is not backing down." "I agree," Kane said, "but we need to be prepared for the consequences. The Council has a lot of power, and their influence stretches far. They can impose economic sanctions, restrict trade, and even isolate us diplomatically. We could find ourselves isolated, facing a galaxy that sees us as a threat." "We won't be isolated," Larkin replied firmly. "The Defiant just showed that we can fight and win. We can hold our own, and we will form our own alliances if we have to." The general studied her for a long moment, then finally gave a slight nod. "We've been in touch with several factions that might be willing to support Earth, but we'll need to act quickly. The Galactic Council isn't known for waiting around when they've decided someone is a problem." "Understood," Larkin replied, her mind racing. The Clarens were just the first hurdle, but she knew there were others watching. The next steps were critical. If humanity was to have a future in this galaxy, they would need allies. And fast. "We're preparing reinforcements as we speak, Admiral," Kane continued. "A fleet is already en route, but it will take time to reach you. Until then, continue holding your position in the neutral zone. Show them we won't be intimidated." Larkin's eyes hardened. "We'll hold, and we'll keep fighting, no matter who comes next." Kane's expression softened just slightly, a rare moment of camaraderie. "I know you will, Admiral. You've earned your place in history. Humanity's future is in your hands." The transmission ended, and Larkin took a deep breath. The weight of her responsibility had never been clearer. She had to hold the line, not just for Earth, but for every human who ever dared to dream of something more than survival in this vast, unforgiving galaxy. Turning to her crew, Larkin spoke with newfound resolve. "This isn't over. The Clarens have tasted defeat, but there are others out there who will test us. We stay vigilant. We hold our ground. and we show the galaxy exactly who we are." The crew of the U.S. Defiant nodded in unison. The battle for humanity's place in the galaxy had just begun, and they were ready for whatever came next. The aftermath of the battle was both a victory and a warning. While the U.S. Defiant had proven that humanity could stand up to the greatest powers in the galaxy, the challenge was far from over. The Clarens had retreated, humiliated but not broken. The Galactic Council was already in motion, considering their next steps in response to humanity's defiance. The galaxy was a vast and complicated web of alliances, politics, and ancient rivalries, and humanity had just thrown a stone into that web, setting off a chain reaction. As the U.S. Defiant continued to hover on the edge of the neutral zone, the crew remained on high alert, knowing that they had made themselves a target for anyone who wanted to challenge the human presence in the galaxy. Admiral Catherine Larkin stood at the helm, staring out into the void. The stars seemed to mock her, distant and untouchable, but they also symbolized something far more significant. Humanity had just taken its first real step into a wider universe, and it wouldn't be easily forgotten. "Admiral, we've got incoming ships on the long-range scanners," Lieutenant Vanek said, breaking the silence in the command room. "It's a small fleet, but they're approaching fast. I'm detecting Xara signatures." Larkin's expression hardened. The Xara were another powerful faction, known for their highly advanced technology and ruthless tactics. If they were coming, it wasn't for a friendly visit. "Red alert. Prepare for engagement," Larkin commanded, her voice cold but steady. "Plot a course for evasive maneuvers. Let's see what they want." The U.S. Defiant's crew moved swiftly, tension hanging in the air like a tangible weight. The battle against the Clarens was still fresh in their minds, but this was a different kind of threat, one that had the potential to escalate even further. "Admiral," Commander Hayes said, stepping beside her, "the Xara won't be as forgiving as the Clarens. We're likely facing an ultimatum, not a negotiation." Larkin nodded grimly. The Xara didn't make threats lightly. They would either demand submission or annihilation. Humanity couldn't afford to back down again. The first of the Xara ships appeared on the scanner. A sleek, dark warship with glowing engines that looked like something out of a nightmare. The ship was enormous, dwarfing the Defiant, and its weapons systems were already primed. "Admiral, we've just received a direct transmission from the Xara flagship," Vanek said, her voice low with anxiety. "They're requesting to speak with you directly." Larkin took a breath, steadying herself. "Put it through." The screen flickered, and the imposing face of the Xara commander appeared. His species was tall, with elongated features and black, reflective eyes that seemed to bore into the very soul of those who looked upon them. His voice was cold, like the void of space itself. "Human," the commander began, his tone filled with disdain, "you have made a grave mistake. The Galactic Council does not tolerate your kind's insolence. You are a threat to the balance of power in this galaxy, and you will be dealt with accordingly." Larkin's grip tightened on the console, but her voice remained steady. "I'm not here to beg for your mercy. Humanity will not be intimidated. You will not dictate our place in the stars." The Xara commander's lips curled into something that almost resembled a smile. "Then you have already sealed your fate. We will destroy you, and your defiance will be a lesson for all who think they can challenge the established order." Larkin's eyes narrowed. She had expected threats, but the arrogance in the commander's voice only fueled her resolve. "You can try," she said, "but I'm not backing down, and neither are the people of Earth." Without another word, the transmission was cut off, and the tension in the room was palpable. The Xara fleet had made their intentions clear. They would not tolerate humanity's resistance. "Admiral," Hayes said, his voice urgent, "we're outnumbered and outgunned again. Their fleet is 5 ships strong. We don't have the firepower to take them all on. But we can't afford to retreat." Larkin's mind raced. The odds were overwhelming, but humanity had survived the impossible before. She glanced at the screen, where the XRA fleet loomed larger as they approached, their weapons charging. The time for negotiation was over. The only choice was to fight or face annihilation. "We fight," Larkin declared, her voice unwavering. "But we won't fight like they expect. Commander, set a course for the XRA flagship. We'll take out their command ship first. If we break their chain of command, we might be able to cause enough chaos to make them rethink their attack." Hayes met her gaze, a flicker of surprise crossing his face. "You're going for the flagship. That's a bold move, Admiral." "We don't have time for anything less," Larkin replied. "Make it happen." The U.S. Defiant surged forward, its engines roaring with newfound power as it pushed toward the heart of the XRA fleet. The battle was far from over, but Larkin knew one thing for certain: humanity would not go down quietly. They would face their enemies head-on, with everything they had. The galaxy was watching, and humanity was ready to make its mark.